What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. So in this video the Tacoma is back, so we're going to be doing a little bit more work on the Tacoma. I'm going to change out his wheel hub bearing, wheel hub and bearing assembly, because this thing's got a bad wheel hub and I was able to feel the play in it last time he was here, so we'll show you guys that play, how to check for a bad wheel bearing. And you know, you can buy the bearing or the hub separately and press it in, but it's much easier to just buy it all as one and throw it in. So that's what we're going to do today. And he asked me to reattach his mud flaps, and I may do a little bit of a buff on the hood for him, just because, I don't know, I'm feeling nice, just because his hood is so badly faded, and I think it could definitely improve from a little bit of a buff. We'll see if we can dress it up. I don't know if there's any clear coat even left to buff on this thing, but we'll see what we can do about it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start by busting off his lug nuts. I'm going to jack it up. I got a wheel chock under it already, so let's get started. Alright guys, so I jumped ahead a little bit just because I wanted to see what I was getting into, and I think obviously I kind of knew. I forgot to bring my axle nut socket set home, so if I don't have what we need, we're going to have to take a little ride, but I'll hop in the car and go to grab what I need. Anyway, so I got this thing apart. Basically all I did was take out the two 17 mils, these guys, that were in the back of the caliper right here, and here, and they run through these guys, and the caliper came off. And then I also took off this 12 here, and that holds on the bracket, which holds on the brake hose, just so I could move all this out of the way. And I have it bungeed up right around this guy and around the coil spring up here, just to keep this from hanging on our rubber hose, which it's now pulling down a little more, but as long as it's not pulling on our hose, we're all set down there. So he's hanging out down there nice and safe, and I got to pull out these bolts right here to remove the hub assembly, but I also got to take this dust cover off in order to get out the actual you know, axle nut. I got to take the axle nut off, that way I can take off the hub. So that's kind of going to be a pain since I don't have my axle nut socket set, so I may have to go take a ride to work and grab it. But yeah, it is what it is. Gonna go do that now probably. I went ahead and took my rotor off too. So we are ready to go here, except for a lack of tools. So I'll see if I got something that can make it work. If not, I'm gonna be taking a little ride. So yeah, this is what I was waiting for. This is a heck of a time pounding on this thing, trying to get this dust cap removed. I did, however, fix my hammer. Sent the handle right through and then put a screw in it. So it's been pretty good to me. It helped me bang that off, and it's going to help me bang this hub off too once we're getting there. But I do have to pull this axle nut out. I went ahead and removed, there's like a pin and a locking setup here. So I just took this pin out and took this guy off, and that allows access to this. Tried to bang it off with like a chisel and a hammer, but definitely going to need the correct socket. So not sure what it is just yet, but I'm probably going to have to go take a little quick ride and get my socket set. Hopefully that is all I need for this job. I think it is. I'm gonna take a look over here and see what else we might need. So we are back where we started about an hour ago. I got my 35 mil socket here along with the rest of my set from work, and now we can go ahead and bust this guy off, and then we should be able to push that in just a little bit. We'll tap it in so we're not banging on that, and then we can pull these bolts off here for the hub assembly, and then we'll beat this guy off real good. So I'm going to go ahead and take my impact to this. Hopefully this impact gun is up to the task. Oh yeah, no problem. That was easy. So then we can make sure we don't mess up our threads here. I'll give this a couple of turns and then bang our axle here. Okay, so he's nice and loose now. We can see that he's all loose. So we can thread this guy back off and make sure you don't mess up your threads on the end here. So yeah, now we're going to go ahead and bust these guys off. We'll see what the best way to go about that is. Probably a wrench or something like that. So this is my best method here is the double wrench. So it's a 17. We can't really get a socket on it. So I got a 19 and I hooked the wrenches together like this, and I'm gonna make sure it doesn't do that and just push. And the added leverage should be enough to help you get it loose. Just make sure that you got the box end of the wrench on there really good. Then you can pop it off. I got the top two loosened already, so those guys should come right out nice and easily. Yep. Now I just gotta get the bottom two, which may or may not be a little bit more difficult. Alright, so I got all four of those out. So now we're going to hit this thing. I'm going to try to clean up a little bit. I'm going to try to not destroy this backing plate. Like it's definitely work. Hell yeah.
Thanks to your modified
hammer. Yeah, I really needed that hammer. It would have been a lot harder to do without that hammer. Alright, so the reassembly is pretty simple. If you got a really messed up seat here, you might want to clean it out. Just getting a little bit of garbage out of there. But for the most part, we're good. We want to make sure that this guy is nice and clean. This is the ring that the ABS sensor reads right here. So when we go in there with this, we're going to line up the axle and set it up, but we just got to put this guy on first. I just did this and forgot to do that, so that was silly. But I'm going to make sure they're all lined up here and put it in the hole. And we can give the axle a little nudge through there as well. Then we got to get all four of these started before we start to do anything crazy, so we'll do what we gotta do just to get them started in there. So we're going to thread on our axle nut here. Make sure our axle is fully seated. Yep, and it is. And we'll use our impact gun to crank this guy down, make sure he's nice and tight. That's definitely tight. We'll put our little lock on here and send our old cotter pin through. So I got our cotter pin all bent the heck over there and bent on the bottom too. He's not going anywhere. So I'll take our dust cover and see if we can bang this guy back into place here. There we go. Alright, so dust cover's back in place now. We're all sealed up. Now we're just ready to go ahead and throw the rotor back on, throw the caliper back on. And this job is complete, guys. Made sure I got it nice and tight so we don't have any issues there. And this guy's going to be all back together pretty soon.